conversation is that of a verbal and nonverbal cues between two or more people with a mutual understanding. How is it, though, that those in the deaf community who do not have the verbal portion of a conversation can show inflection and sarcasm and show the emotions of their conversations? There are many ways in which people in the deaf community, even those who cannot speak at all verbally, can invoke emotion into their conversations. There are three main ways in which they do this. My name is Jessica Heneisen, and I feel that it is important that I help to inform you of all the ways in which emotion is expressed in conversations within the deaf community. Most sources, such as the importance of facial expressions on SignSavvy.com, state that one of the main ways in which people in the deaf community invoke emotion into their conversations is through facial expressions. When using facial expressions, it is much like when you take a photo. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words. The emotions shown in a photograph, as well as in the conversation that the deaf community have, show exactly what they are feeling because of the smile that they have, the frown that they use, and the indentions that they make within their face. Eye contact is also very important within the conversation. Your eyes speak for you a lot of the time. When they show emotion with facial expressions, they make more of a defined expression. Because whenever they do this, it is much like how an actor or actress will show what they are doing exaggeratedly in a movie or a play. The use of their eyebrows is yet another way in which the deaf people can show the emotions they need in conversations. And according to the Signing Naturally Handbook, even show that they are asking questions rather than making a statement. Eyebrows are a key point for showing emotions while talking with a deaf person. The more that you exaggerate with your eyebrows, the better it is. If using what words, such as what, who, or how, and one does not use their eyebrows enough, then the question that they ask might appear to be not as important or sarcastic. And when asking a question that does not have a what word in it, it can be even more difficult to understand if you are even asking a question or if you are simply making a statement to the other person. If one is to ask, do you live in a house, and you do not use your eyebrows enough to convey that you are in fact asking a question of this person, there is no way to understand if it is a question or a statement, especially since within the deaf community and their American Sign Language, ASL, the word do does not exist, such as in the question, do you live in a house? So this question that they would be asking is just, you live in a house. Without the use of your eyebrows, it could be conveyed that you are just stating that they in fact live in a house, rather than asking them this question. So the word, one must then use the emotional expressions that they can, primarily that of their furrowed eyebrows, to show that they are in fact asking this question. There is also the importance of the forcefulness of the signing in which the signer, speaking to the person, uses. Such as whenever you are arguing with another person, you raise your voice and make ferocious hand gestures in the air. When speaking ASL, the person usually will punch faster if they are making a fist-made word, or they will go very quickly, and sometimes even misspell things if they are having to fingerspell the words that they are using. When this occurs and the signer is making a fast and ferocious movement when signing, it tends to mean that they are angry or even anxious. Much like when, and like I said, you are arguing with another person, or if you are sad, you will often make ferocious movements with your hands or even stomp away. Well, when whenever you stop away, the other person can still hear you talking. So within the deaf community, oftentimes that doesn't happen because the other person can't hear you anymore because there's nothing to hear. However, the best way to convey emotion is to combine the facial expressions and the furrowing of your eyebrows, and depending on the meaning of what you are trying to say, the ferociousness of your signing. This will, in combination, make it easier to understand what you are trying to convey with your emotions, whether it be joy, sadness, anger, and other emotions. Throughout the many types of showing emotion, and depending on the emotions you are trying to show, the context of the conversation is also very important. Just like when phrasing a question is very important to the deaf person, the way that you word your sentences and your argument, statements, and others are very important as well. With there being so many different ways of communication verbally so that you can convey emotion, it is important to know how those in the deaf community who do not speak show their emotions in conversation, especially if you come across them in your normal day-to-day life, which is very common depending on where you work. Without words, facial expressions, furrowing of the brows, and the force of their signing is all they really have in order to show the emotions that they are feeling at that time. Though some of those who learn to sign do not always use these ways of showing emotion in the correct way or altogether, it is still important to know and understand what each can mean and what emotions that they are showing. Thank you.